something and to put together a roadmap of a place you've never been. And my mom was like, of course, that's amazing. You're not going to be taken seriously until you're 25 anyway. Do it. And I was like, thanks, Mom. So immediately, having no idea how to run a company, my undergrad was international relations with an emphasis with Spanish as well. I'd studied in Spain. So I have no skills to actually pull this off. So immediately, I call up 20 of the most influential women in the entertainment industry. Of course, I'm talking to their assistants, the gatekeepers, and I'm like, hi, my name is Alexis Jones, and I would love to interview, fill in the blank, because, and like have my reasons for it. I'm thinking if I get one or two of these women to actually grant me an interview, that would be unbelievable. All 20 women called me back. All 20 women met with me for what I'd asked for 10 to 15 minutes time to interview them. Not a single woman met with me for less than an hour to an hour and a half. One woman met with me for like 3 hours, and I was like, okay, sister, I think I got it. I'm good now. Because they were giving me kernels of wisdom. And the one common thread that all these women had, which in retrospect was so profound, and I truly think has made all the difference for me, was that they said, don't be another pretty face with an idea that you can't execute it yourself. If you actually want to run a company, if you want to start a company, then you need to get a master's and get the tools that you didn't get in undergrad. So immediately I'm like, awesome, definitely. So I go back to USC. I'm biased. I love this school. I go back, I apply to this really specific program at USC where you get to take classes from the comm school and classes from business school, and it's basically I got accepted based on this idea in theory that I had of a company I wanted to start, and if they thought I could actually bring it to fruition, you got accepted on that. So I came up with this idea, presented, sure enough I get accepted. But again, I'm presented with the idea of I can't afford this. So how am I going to afford to not only tuition, but to live in Los Angeles for another potentially 2 years and go to this school? So for me, I end up finding a garage behind a house that one of my friend's moms lived in the front, and living in that garage for the entire time I was in grad school. It's a little ghetto, I'm not going to lie. Like, at one point, the garage wouldn't shut all the way. So, oh, and there's a garage door clicker, there's no door. So that's cool when you have friends over and you're like, yeah, you want to come to my place? You're like, you click and it's like, ah, and you're like, no big deal. It's how I get in. And so at one point the garage door actually breaks, so it won't go past here. So I got friends, 2 squirrels, who thought it was cool to come kick it with me all the time. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night to then be like, and I'd look over and I'd be like, really? Come on, I'm trying to sleep. It's nothing during the day. Stop freaking me out. I had no heater, so I had to bring in space heaters that I just put around my bed, just so that I wouldn't freeze at night. And I remember thinking, as I laid in my little garage, at one point I got locked in and had to call my professor from the inside of my garage to tell him, to try to explain that I was locked in a garage. He was like, what are you doing in there? And I was like, it's funny, I live here, actually. And until someone could come in and actually help me out. But I remember laying in that garage, and there's an awesome humility to living in a garage, if any of you ever need a little slice of humble pie. And thinking in my head, again, I'm the kind of girl who's willing to make the sacrifices necessary to do what I want to do. And I don't care if people look at me and say, you live in a garage. And I don't care if I don't have the money to do it, I'm going to find a way to get it. And for me, that was living in a garage for a year and working full-time. And on top of it, doing 2 years of grad school in a single year because it was the only way I could afford it while working full-time. So taking 32 units, twice the workload, while working full-time at Fox Sports, just trying to make enough money to get by. And in retrospect, one of the hardest years of my entire life, no question. I mean, just trying to keep up. I think I hung out with my friends 2 times in the entire year. But again, I had a goal in mind. I knew where I needed to go, and I didn't care what I had to do in order to get there. That I was unwavering about what I was going to do in order to get there. And so I'm sitting